Hello everyone and welcome back to a short reviews video for August 2021. This is an almost monthly segment where I talk about those albums and EPs that I didn't really feel that I have that much to talk about, so all of them are contained in this section right here. Some of them I find that are pretty interesting releases that I suggest you to go and check out. Others might just end up feeling bad and unforgettable. The ratings usually go from 6 plus to 4 minus, and for me August felt like sort of a lackluster month. I didn't really find that many releases that I was interested to listen to, so this video might end up becoming a bit short because I don't have that many releases to talk about. But anyways, with all that being said, let's just jump straight into the video. King's Disease 2 by Nas is out, and this album, actually I saw that people really ended up liking this album. Like, for lots of people this felt like a vast improvement compared to the first King's Disease, and I've seen some others also considering this the grand return of Nas, which I don't really see it personally. Now the thing is that I do find King's Disease 2 to be a much better album in terms of some instrumentals and the production, and the rapping is pretty standard with what Nas is doing in recent years. I do think that this is kinda better compared to the first one, but I'm still not really feeling it. I ended up feeling quite unimpressed with this album and feeling that this is another sort of average hip hop album that doesn't really bring that much to the table. For me at least, it was an album that I don't ever see myself coming back to. None of the tracks really leave that much of an impression on me, and yeah, I feel that this is another sort of average album from Nas. The new album of Unreqvited, Beautiful Ghosts, is not that bad. I honestly was a bit worried considering that I found the previous album from Unreqvited to be extremely underwhelming. However, I feel that this one feels kinda decent. To be fair, I don't really feel that any of the ideas that it has are like that impactful or that engaging in order to really see myself coming back to any of the songs. However, the whole package felt pretty nice. It has some decent riffs, it has a nice atmosphere to it, and overall I think that this ends up being a pretty decent black metal album that I do suggest you to go and check it out. That was another album of Lorde that I felt was extremely boring. I honestly sort of liked her debut, Pure Heroine. I thought that this was okay album. However, I never really got the appeal over the next album, Melodrama, which for me was not only just a pretty melodramatic album as the title says, it contained many just sort of piano ballads that felt really boring and uninteresting and not really doing anything that much. So it was one of those albums that I didn't really get why people liked so much. With Solar Power though, it feels like many people felt pretty underwhelmed with this album, and personally listening to it I don't really find that much of a difference compared to Melodrama in terms of quality. Even if it goes more to a sort of folk and guitar ballad side of things, I feel that this is another sort of pop album that feels extremely boring, bland and forgettable. So yeah, this album felt really weak for me and I didn't like it. Sidewalks and Skeletons and BROTHEL have a short EP together that didn't really do that much in my opinion. I feel that the very first song, which is a pretty standard direction of Witch House, is a pretty okay song, but the second one, which is just this ambient passage that you feel that it's going to go somewhere but never develops whatsoever, feels extremely underwhelming. The third one starts really slow, it picks up towards the second half, having a sort of interesting and intriguing bit, but at this point I was already not feeling it. I feel that this EP could have done more. For what it is, it just feels like sort of filler material that are not really something that special. Unfortunately, the new Gorillaz EP has to be possibly my least favorite work I've heard from them, especially recently. Like, even with some works that didn't have that much of a great reputation, I wasn't that critical of them. I still feel that Gorillaz, even with some of their works that haven't gone that greatly, I still found sort of an appeal to them, in some occasions at least. Now this brand new EP meanwhile didn't impress me at all, not with instrumentals, not with the features, like none of them really did something that caught my attention. I sort of like the direction the third track takes, but I don't know, it just feels like a really bland release that I instantly felt bored and I got uninterested really quickly. So yeah, for me this was possibly one of the most underwhelming instances of a Gorillaz release I can think of. This album got my attention due to its beautiful album cover, and it also comes by a label that I follow pretty much often. Dice Records is known for making some pretty intriguing stuff, especially when it comes to electronic releases. And just by the vibe that this album cover gave me, I sort of got what I expected in regards to its music. It is an ambient album that has a few nice dark passages, but it also contains a few chill beats, and it also has moments of sound collage and spoken word. So this definitely sounds like a good combination of sounds and genres to me, and this is definitely an album that excited me. And as far as I got what I expected, this is definitely not executed in the way I wanted. Right off the bat, I feel that this album is extremely lackluster. Even if it has some interesting ideas here and there, and I like some of the directions that it takes, in many occasions this album feels extremely lackluster, like many things are missing. In many occasions the production is just so low. I feel that there are some nice moments where I would want a bit of a more power, a bit of a more emphasis to some of the beats, some of the sounds, something to just elevate the experience just a little bit. This album got extremely boring really fast, with many short tracks that don't really feel that connect or leading anywhere. And even if there are some interesting moments with some sounds, they end up repeating themselves later down the line, and so the album ends up becoming somewhat one-dimensional and quickly lost its focus for me. I feel that this album, especially as it goes down and drags on, it just gets more and more boring. I like the vibe, I like some of the ideas, however I feel that it could have been executed better, having a bit of a more vibrant and energetic production, and I don't know, just something that doesn't really feel this monotone, something a bit more engaging, which unfortunately it's not really there. And that's all I have for the short reviews video for August 2021. What's your opinion in any of those releases? Like them, dislike them, why? And what do you want me to review next time? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.